All right, what is going on, traders? What's up, tycoons? Super excited for today's video, coming at you with an update on JASMY. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go over the strategies that we've been using to really help understand some of the price action here and go over a update on the key levels that I gave in the last video, how we held those levels, and if we continue to hold those levels, we could come up and hit our bullish price targets on JASMY between 0.009 all the way up to 0.0109. So make sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, and we're going to break down the major Fibonacci retracement levels, how to use the MACD, as well as the relative strength index here to really give yourself an edge in the market. Trading is like going to battle. It's like going to war. You need to have the proper weapons and you need to know how to use those weapons so that way you can increase your odds of success on the battlefield. So we'll start off here with these sets of three lines right here, these yellow three lines. These are the major and three most common and well-respected retracement levels. Those are going to be the 38.2, the 50%, and the 61.8% level. Now, the reason you use those is because nothing moves in a straight line up or a straight line down. What you get is you get a move up retracement and a continuation, or a move down retracement and a continuation. That's how you spot trend continuation, right? Now, you can use those levels to also spot trend reversals if you move up, retrace, consolidate, and break through those levels, or if you move down, retrace, consolidate, and break through those levels. That is how you would spot a potential reversal. So we've been using these to really help us understand the price action. Okay, if you see here, we have our swing high, we connected it down to the swing low, we had a move down, retrace, continuation of that trend. Okay, so you see we come up to the 38.2 as well as the 50% level, and then we ended up retracing, continuing that trend. If you take a look, then we come down again, we retrace, and we continue that trend again as well after rejecting the 38.2. And what we do right here is exactly what I just mentioned. We come up, we consolidate a little bit, and then we break through our retracement levels and get a reversal where we put in a high and now a new higher high. And we've started an uptrend. And we've been tracking to see if we're going to be able to get a 5-wave structure to take us up here to our bullish price targets that I mentioned before. Now, that was the downtrend retracement levels, right? So after we broke through our three major retracement levels and got a reversal, now we need to find out our support levels of retracement. So if we pull back, these are the sets of levels that we need to maintain and hold above, because right here, if we would have pulled back, consolidated, and then broke through them, we could have gotten a reversal. But rather, we held right around our 38.2% retracement level, and we came up, hit some wave 3 targets up here, and now we have our new retracement levels of support that I just gave in the last video, and we did a great job of holding those as well after the pullback. Now, there was a couple signs that we could potentially be getting a pullback. And we were able to get some of the signs that we were looking for, all right, initially, and those are going to be on the relative strength index. So if you notice, we have these series of circles really highlighted here. What these are these are sequences of lower lows or higher highs. So if we take a look, right, we have a low here and a lower low right here, right? So clearly the token's in a downtrend. Let's take a look at our RSI and see what the relative strength index is telling us. We actually have a low and then a higher low at these two specific points. So what that means is that we're building relative strength as the price of the token is dropping and going lower in price. This is a term known as bullish divergence, and an indicator you may see some bullish activity. And what do? We get some nice bullish activity. We come up to our retracement levels, and then we end up ultimately dropping, right? But look, when we drop, we make a low, lower low, and then another lower low. And what do? We actually bounce off of our bullish divergence trend line. So you want to draw a trend line and connect those higher lows on the RSI compared to the lower lows on the price of the token. These are going to be potential bounce zones and potential bounce areas, right? And so we come down, we test that trend line right here. And what do? We actually get a bounce up back to our 38.2% retracement level before hitting resistance and coming back down. Now you can also combine these signals with the MACD, okay, as far as the relative strength index signals with the bullish divergence. An entry signal is going to be this red line crossing above the blue line. So notice here we get a bullish divergence, right? We bounce off of our bullish divergence after creating lower lows and making higher lows on the RSI. And then very shortly afterwards, we end up seeing the red line cross above the blue line on the MACD. That's a possible entry signal, all right? And what do we get? We get that nice move up, and we come to our major resistance levels that we know we need to be cautious of and protect our trade on if we're trying to trade at these levels. And, we entered in below, we need to put some type of stop loss around these levels. So that way, if things reverse and continue the trend downwards, okay, we can get out of the play while still capturing some of our profits and protecting our trade. Now over here, same thing, but essentially instead of an entry signal, it's going to be an exit signal, and that's going to be when the red line crosses below the blue line here. And you can see that we actually broke our bullish divergence trend line here as well, right? So we're bouncing, we get a bounce, then we get another bounce, and over here we're looking to see if we get a bounce. And what do? We actually break through it and then flip it to resistance and head down lower. And then we also get a MACD sell signal here, cross over to the downside. And sure enough, what happens? We get a nice downside move. Okay, so using some of these things can really help you understand some of the price action and why things may be doing what they're doing. Now, that'll bring us back up to what's relevant right now. So what I want to highlight is this low, okay, and this lower low right here. So again, clearly the token's in a downtrend, but what we did was we built a much longer bullish divergence, right? So we have the initial low right here from over here, and then we have a new higher low over here from this new lower low as well. So now we started a new bullish divergence trend line, and we got a MACD crossover to the upside, and that really started the rally. We got a healthy pullback to our 38.2 retracement, came up, a healthy pullback to our 61.8% retracement. And if bulls can continue to push things higher, we could hit our wave 5 targets again of 0.009 all the way up to 0.0109. Now, I'm not sure where exactly we'll land in those areas, but those are going to be some of the targets that we're looking at. Now, we did have a bearish divergence, okay, but we did something nice where we broke out of it, okay? So, I highlighted in the last video, we had a high here and a higher high here, right? So this time the token is going up, going higher in price, but the relative strength index has a high and then a lower high and a lower high. So we're actually losing relative strength as the token's going up in price. This is bearish divergence. And I said, if you want to be bullish on this, you need the bulls to break out past this trend line. And that's what we did, right? And so we did get a nice breakout, but we were looking to see what was going to happen, right? If we were going to continue that bullishness and head up to these targets, or, I said, be cautious of a look above and fail. And ultimately, that's what we got. So we got the initial breakout here, but we looked above this trend line, and instead of flipping it to support and trending above it, what we did was we came down and we broke down below it. Now we're retesting that trend line again. The more times you test something, the weaker it gets, right? So we tested it a couple times here and then broke out. We tested it again here, tested again here, tested again here. So this trend line is getting pretty weak. If we are able to break out from it again, we may see another nice push up on JASMY up here to our bullish price targets up above. So, you have to be mindful of downside risk as well. If you take a look, we did end up getting, a crossover here, and we weren't really sure what it was going to do in this time period, right? We were wondering if we were going to curl up. I said, hey, if you're bullish on this, you want to see this MACD curl back up, and you want to see this trend line here break. We did get both of those, and we got a very strong push on JASMY. And now what we're doing is there's this red box here. This is a supply zone. This is basically an area of resistance, an area where there was an imbalance of sell orders previously pushing price lower. And when you break through those supply zones, you're now going to look to flip them to demand zones, aka support zones. And we've done a really good job of holding that. In our demand zone here, former supply zone, also lined up with our major Fibonacci retracement levels very well. So we did a really good job of breaking out, retesting this zone, and now we've started to find some support, and we are trading above that level, but currently we're battling 0.006871 as resistance. We need to get above there to have really any chance of hitting our bullish price targets. As you notice, we're starting to consolidate around our major retracement levels. If we break through 61.8% level, which is going to be right around 0.005949, if we end up breaking through there, we could fall right through this supply zone. and get some type of a reversal and retest some of our previous lows that we currently hit. So definitely be mindful of these levels right here. The 0.005949 is kind of going to be the line in the sand. If we break through that, flip it to resistance and head lower, most likely we're going to end up seeing some type of reversal, just like we did over here, where we came down, consolidated, and then broke through and got a reversal. There's always going to be the downside risk potential. So you just want to be mindful of the signs to look for. If we continue to reject this bearish divergence trend line, we could continue heading lower as well. And then if the MACD continues to head in a downward direction, we could continue heading downwards as well. So you really want to see this MACD curl back above the blue line. You want to see the RSI break through this bullish divergence trend line, and you want to see us hold above our major retracement levels in this supply zone here, former supply zone, that we're going to look to see if we can flip it into demand, into support. And that's pretty much all the main things that I'm looking at personally on JASMY. Now, of course, this video wasn't financial advice, but rather just a breakdown of some of the different indicators that you can use to help you along your trading journey. Remember, it's like going to battle, it's like going to war. You need to have the proper weapons and know how to use those weapons so that way you can give yourself an edge in the market. And if you enjoyed this video, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'm out.